Москва. Красная площадь. Тысячи людей приходят почтить память гениального вождя рабочего класса, основателя коммунистической партии и советского государства Владимира Ильича Ленина и великого продолжателя его дела Иосифа Виссарионовича Сталина, отдавших всю свою жизнь борьбе за счастье трудящихся.
On the morning of February the 25th, 1956, First Secretary of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union, Nikita Khrushchev, delivered a report on Stalin's personality cult and its consequences to a closed session of the 20th Party Congress. Only 3 years had passed since the death of the dear and beloved leader, and suddenly he was being accused of such monstrous crimes against his own people that the public later found it hard to believe. Stalin's body was taken out of the mausoleum. It did not lay alongside Lenin's. His remains were eventually buried near the Kremlin wall. In 1918, Vladimir Ulyanov, better known as Lenin, had every reason to say that we have won Russia over and we must now govern Russia. Lenin's notes, letters and telegrams show his administrative style. You must display exemplary ruthlessness, execute by firing squad without asking anyone and without permitting idiotic red tape. Although Lenin died in 1924, his ultra-talented comrades in arms continued to strengthen the totalitarian regime he had founded. Joseph Stalin became the USSR's leader virtually overnight. After ousting his main rival, Leon Trotsky, Stalin began to methodically and purposefully eliminate the so-called Lenin Guard. Stalin also had his own approach to dealing with ordinary people. The property of well-to-do peasants, known as kulaks, was expropriated, and entire peasant families were exiled to remote areas of the country. Poor peasants were forced to join the collective farms. The rapid pace of industrialization required genuinely forced and backbreaking labor. This caused discontent and civil unrest, which often escalated into the most violent forms of protest. Rioters and insurgents were either executed by firing squad or at best exiled or sent to prison camps. A search for the enemies of the people among technocrats, creative intellectuals, high-ranking local council officials, as well as civil servants and Communist Party functionaries led to unprecedented mass repression. As a rule, political cases were tried without prosecutors or defense attorneys. Death sentences were carried out immediately. The Great Purge climaxed in 1937-38, when many top Red Army commanders were either executed or imprisoned. Stalin feared everyone. Everyone feared Stalin. Only a small group of Stalin's supporters managed to survive during the 30-year rule of the great leader and teacher. And all of them were also responsible for committing bloody crimes against their compatriots. They say that the death of one person is a tragedy, but the death of millions is just a statistic. But all these millions are survived by children, grandchildren and great-grandchildren, and each of them recalls his or her own tragedy.